Ghost of Tsushima. Holy shit, this is a pretty game. Yeah, made by Sucker Punch, whatever, but look at this. I went into this game nearly straight after finishing The Last of Us 2, and I was so grateful to see any kind of vibrancy. Not to take anything away from the graphical achievement of The Last of Us 2, but Ghost of Tsushima has some of the most beautiful settings I've seen in the game. I walked into this game like,
what's this? What's this? There's color everywhere.
I mean, it's not as bright and colourful as the games such as Fall Guys, but damn, some of the locations come close. The first place I arrived at was the Golden Temple, and I loved the way the colours popped on screen. And just like many of the other areas of the game, I just stood there and took it all in because it's just so damn beautiful. And I'll admit, not every single part of the game has an overwhelming amount of colour, but when you do find these areas, they are a sight for sore eyes and you can't help but to appreciate the art styles. Especially when it's integrated into the gameplay, such as the duels between the straw hats that are scattered around the second area. The thought of having such an interesting background during the duel reminds me of the iconic moments in cinema, such as the legendary duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and also the cool looking sword fight between Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones. For me, many of the boss fights have that feel, especially when you perfect the swordplay of the game, and even better when you learn the legendary strikes found throughout Tsushima.
The heavenly strike couldn't save you.
And speaking of the combat, I want to bring up the 4 stances you'll be using. Wind, water, stone, and fire. No, moon. No, the other one's moon. Each stance is used specifically for different enemies, and all gradually make Jin hold his sword further and further away from being practical. How is that going to help, Jin? Or if playing with honour isn't your style, you can always take up some of the strategies of the unhonourable Ghost. And this doesn't just mean sneaking around and stabbing people in the backs, because during combat against multiple enemies you can invoke some of the Ghost weapons, such as sticky bombs, smoke pellets, and my favourite, the kunai. Which I definitely use way too much and may explain why my game is always stormy. Oh, didn't I say the weather changes depending on how honourable you want to play? If you want it always to be pleasant, then by all means challenge people to standoffs and get baited into attacks and lose all your health.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
But the last time I tried to play honourable as a samurai in a game, a lawbringer grabbed me by my face and threw me off a ledge. But not here. Not this time. I had absolutely no problem playing dirty against any group of enemy. All this so you can reclaim your island from probably one of the best villains from gaming this year. And that's probably a bold thing for me to say, since in 2020 we had Sephiroth, Nemesis and whatever we count Abby as. But honestly, his introduction into the game is brilliant. In the opening 30 minutes of the game, you learn just how smart and charismatic he is, but not only that, but how strong and ruthless he can also be when you're forced into a fight at the start that, let's be honest, you can't and won't win.
Enough. Surrender.
Hey, fuck you, Mongolian!
As far as story length goes, I feel like this one isn't all that long. The only thing that I felt like extended my time with the game was my obsessive nature to follow every bit of wildlife across the map. The map is split into 3 sections, one for each chapter, and I didn't move on until I was sure that I completed everything. I took out all the Mongol camps, climbed every lighthouse and Shinto shrine, cut every bamboo, found every sword kit, wrote all the pretty little haikus that didn't make any fucking sense when Jin repeated them, discovered every Inuri shrine without forgetting to pet the foxes, and bathed in every hot spring. I'm not sure I can leave that in. There's also multiple side quests to complete that fit into the story really nicely. My favourite out of all of them is Sensei Ishikawa's. You get to join him on his quest to hunt down his previous student who has gone rogue and is now teaching the Mongolians his way of the bow. Wait, is she wearing the mask from Fortnite? As far as the additional trophies go, they're pretty laid back and easy. Of course it expects you to do everything on the map, including all the other side quests that I forgot to mention, but the majority of the things you'll end up doing anyway, including meeting certain combat requirements like nailing 20 parries and swiping 5 dudes in a row during a standoff. Everything else basically consists of unlock all this, upgrade that, wear this outfit, collect these random things that you're definitely not going to read. Oh yeah, I should say that the only real collectibles in the game are the Mongolian artifacts and the vaguely named records. What are they records of? I don't really care. But what I did care about is that I only had to collect half of each of them for the trophy, and also there's a piece of armour that you can wear which vibrates your controller whenever you're near one. The only thing that I required a guide for was the hidden shrines dotted across Tsushima. There are specific areas that if you bow out then you activate a little animation. It's pretty cool, but they don't show up on the map, so the only way to find them is to either randomly stumble across them, or if you're told where they are by a lovely Samaritan on the internet. You only have to bow at 7, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot more than that to find. Overall, this is a really solid game. As I said before, the visuals are amazing, the combat has a great depth to it, Even the opening title spread looks amazing. And I'll definitely recommend this to anyone who wants an open world to sink their teeth into, or anyone who's been asking for an Assassin's Creed base in Japan, because that's basically what this is. As far as the Platinum Trophy goes, I've got to say it's really easy compared to how big the game actually is. It's very similar to the Spider-Man Platinum, where you essentially just have to finish the game to completion to acquire all the trophies, so I would definitely recommend anyone who's got this game to go out and get it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. What a great game. I'm so glad there's no online trophies. Ah, shit.